there's no life after you and I, right or wrong. There's no other one after this time we spent alone. It's hard to believe that a man with sight could be so blind, thinking about the better times must have been out of my mind. So I'm running back to tell you all that I'm after is a life full of laughter. Without you, God knows what I'd do. Yeah, all that I'm after is a life. This is my steamer, and this is something which I usually cook. Now at the time of cooking I couldn't do it because where do I place the mobile phone, but while it's cooking I can show you some of the ingredients. This is basically dal, and on top of that you've got some broccoli, you've got some Brussels sprouts, you've got some potatoes, some onions, dal, and then on top of that turmeric powder, chili powder, all those other ingredients, and a little bit of shredded peanuts. So this is the kind of dal I make. As you can see, I'm fully prepared to go outside. You and I, right or wrong, there's no other one after this time we spent alone. It is indeed an incredibly sunny day, which is very rare during the rainy winter of especially August month.
I be praying to God to put me in that new Bugatti. If my brother need it, he know he got it if I got it. We pull up while you hiding, hop in my sleigh, I'm sliding. I was born to win. They say Rambo shit it on them and did.
Make it closer. Quiero estar en donde tú estés. Quiero contemplar tu hermosa sencillez.
You gotta catch 'em as they fly. I've just realized I'm in drop D tuning, that's why it's sounding so out of tune. Something to say, and it goes into another chorus where here's to you and all you've overcome. You Subtashi, the chorus.
So we are bypassing Albert Park right now. It's a clear and sunny day. Hopefully we'll reach Ferry Building and we'll have a nice time. Yeah, this was the way I was talking about. The circuit goes circling around Albert Park. A lot of people have come with their dogs and pets and everything, all set to enjoy the weekend. But this tomb-like structure is still a mystery to me. Nobody has told me any history about it. So finally I'm sitting inside this structure. We're currently in a partial lockdown, alert level 2.5. So currently we are just bypassing Albert Park on the way to Ferry Building to get our ferry to Devonport. Those are the ringing bells of the church nearby. What's the name of the church? St. Patrick's. Yeah, just look at the beautiful flowers, the grass, the lush green environment. This is Albert Park again. Winter is slowly subsiding. We're in the month of October now. It's supposed to be spring. So waiting for the flowers to bloom.
So this is a howitzer. It was probably used by the British forces during the Second Boer War. And as you can see, it's probably a heavy howitzer, which means a 60 pounder, or probably in those days it was probably a 50 pounder, which means 50 pounder of shells. Breech loading means you could have loaded it from the backside, and here if you come drive the howitzer to a certain angle and to raise.
What is the steering thing for?
So it's probably for steering the howitzer, like orienting it.
Ah, okay, up and down. Like angles.
Yeah.
This is from First World War, I guess. It's too old. I don't think it's
This
Second
is
War.
even before the First World War. This is Boer War, Second Boer War.
The war between like the
War between the British colonists.
British and the Maoris.
No, the British and the South African colonists.
Oh, okay. So what's it doing at Albert Park?
It's doing it because many of the British artifacts from the Boer War and all of the Maori land wars and everything, they
Acha,
were
same
taken.
instruments and same weapons were used.
They were taken and
Okay,
exhibited.
So guys, currently we are at Albert Park. This is not a museum. These are just relics which have been placed out here. So hey guys, we got an airdrop and look what we got. Corona Extra. So this was right on the grass. It's a very clear and sunny day out here in Auckland. Very rare to see during winters. What do you say, huh?
Yes, that's right. Winter is almost over now, getting to spring, but we're lucky to have a sunny day like this. Otherwise, Auckland weather is very unpredictable. You can see all 4 seasons in the same day.
Yeah, true that. So guys, when I first came to New Zealand, somewhere over there was Alpa's Lodge, and I was in this area. This area is called Newmarket, and as you can see there are showrooms around nearby. Ferrari and what else?
Mercedes,
Mercedes.
Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Jeep. BMW.
Jeep is in this area. Yeah, I just kind of got a flashback after coming to this area because I remember. That is Alpa's Lodge, and we used to come walking down here into Westfield. Westfield, right?
Westfield Mall, the mall we're going
to.
That's the latest mall in New Zealand.
Yeah, I used to come here every day with my dad during that time.
Mini Cooper.
Yeah. Mini garage. So we are at Cornwall Park, One Tree Hill. What's the speciality of this area? Anything?
It's just one of the parks in Auckland. Yeah, like one of the biggest parks in Auckland.
Even bigger than Auckland Domain?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. You'll see. But unfortunately, we can't go to the top of One Tree Hill as that is closed. But as you can see, the high up there,
Yeah.
that is that One Tree Hill monument.
Okay.
So people usually go there, but
I can see people over there. I don't know if the bird is visible. Just got white and black shade. Yeah, it's visible now. Pretty much like a crow. Seems like a flash mob, but to me it seems like a dance practice more than a flash mob. This is like a flash mob in the middle of the street. So guys, I'm riding the Auckland metro rail for the first time at the Britomart station. This is a.k.a. Metro, Auckland Transport. So this is my a.k.a. hop card. You can use this in buses, metros, ferries, trams, all the kinds of Auckland transport over here. And I got it with a student concession as I study at University of Auckland. Always remember to apply for the concession online before getting this card, from the Ferry Building or wherever you're getting it acquired from.
'Cause I know there's no life after
fantastic. You and I, right or wrong, there's no other one. After this time we spent alone, it's hard to believe that a man with such could be so blind. Thinking about the better times must have been out of my mind. So I'm running back to tell you all that I'm after is a life full.
We're going towards Devonport. People are spending their holidays. Not holiday, I mean weekends. So we are going towards the Ferry Building. We'll take the first ferry to Devonport, a famous area out here. People really enjoy their weekends out here. I think those are yachts or catamarans, I don't know, sailing by the Hauraki Gulf. A lot of marine activities ongoing today. Oh, so many. Look, they are having some race or what? Why so many? Clean and clear sunny day and catamarans probably having a race. I've never seen so many together. Oh my god, look at that. Right from below the harbour bridge they have started. It's like a train of catamarans sailing in the Hauraki Gulf. That area is Devonport. We're gonna go there. And if we go straight, we'll reach Rangitoto, and a little bit this side we keep going straight, that will be a.k.a. Island. What's the event called?
I don't know which one it'll be, it's just a weekend race.
Oh, okay. So as you guys can see, there's a race going on of catamarans in the middle of the Hauraki Gulf.
Cause I know there's no life after you and I, right or wrong. There's no other one. After this time we spent alone, it's hard to believe that a man with sight could be so blind. Thinking about the better times must have been out of my mind. So I'm running back to tell you all that I'm after is a life full of laughter. Without you, God knows what I'd do. Yeah, all that I'm after is a life full of laughter. As long as I'm loved.
So guys, if you can see, there are two types of seagulls out here. One has a black beak and the other one has a red beak. So black beaked seagulls and red beaked seagulls. So this is the Naval Museum of Auckland.
After that, the Germans realized that they had to face the British Army in a decisive battle. The major German High Fleet realized that the British were attacking their vessels, they were targeting their vessels one at a time and destroying them, but the Germans realized that they needed to take the British entire Royal Navy in a decisive battle, and that decisive battle was the Battle of Jutland, which is possibly the largest naval battle in history, one of the largest naval battles in history, only surpassed by the Second World War's Battle of Leyte Gulf, fought between the Japanese and the Americans. So here we have, in the Battle of Jutland, even though it's referred to here as a victory, the Battle of Jutland it was a defeat for the Royal Navy, because the Royal Navy lost 11 ships compared to 4 German ships, and it exposed certain flaws of the Royal Navy. For instance, many of the battle cruisers of the Royal Navy that fought at Jutland were not armored enough, and the German explosive shells wreaked havoc and destroyed 5 or 6 of them against only 2 of those German battle cruisers.
They use the walrus for finding target or observing for a shot. But as the war went on, the radar became more interesting. Also, there was more problems with aircraft attacking. They got rid of the walrus and put an more anti-aircraft guns.
How did that get off the ship?
It's got a telescopic gantry underneath it, which you turn it and it would be extended and it would rev up and fly off.
Really?
The crane was for when it landed and be picked up and put back on board.
So the runway is basically underground and it takes off just from an opening.
Sorry, no, it takes off on top of on the ship. See that gantry there?
Yeah.
Sitting on that, telescopes out.
Yeah.
And then they fly off that. They rev up the plane, then release it, and it flies off. And then when they come back, it lands on the sea beside, and then that crane lifts it up and puts it back on board.
Okay. I get it.
These are both the same scale. All the ships here are the same scale. So that's called a light cruiser for some reason, and that's called a pocket battleship. Although there's not
That's a battleship.
a pocket battleship. The Germans called it a pocket battleship to get round the Treaty of Versailles. But actually the guns are much more powerful, and the design, as you can see, is much more streamlined than what you've got here with the British ship.
See this one? That gantry.
Oh, they're big, yeah. And this little bit of, it's about 6 or 7 minutes. These are 2 sailors who are actually on the Achilles talking about the battle. So it's worth listening to. I was just having a listen myself.
These people are British sailors or German
New
sailors?
Zealand. These are New Zealand sailors that were on the Achilles.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Look closely, see these instructions.
Yeah, I can see the Japanese scriptures.
These are all written in Japanese.
Yeah. I can see that. Let me see if the camera can see it as well. Yeah. So guys, this was taken out from a Japanese submarine wreck.
And this is where they used to have the projectile, and this is how it would be fired.
But one thing I don't understand, why is it such long range? Like, can it fire long range, or why is this all this length? It must be able to shoot like few kilometers, I guess.
Yeah, obviously.
It's like
It depends
twice
on-
or thrice the length of howitzers that we saw in Auckland Museum.
No, those are
Short range.
Short. Like they're
These must be
small.
pretty long range.
This is much bigger. That is only, I think, like 50 millimeters.
Have they written the range anywhere? Like,
The bore of this thing is 140 millimeter.
yeah, no, that's all fine. But I'm asking about the artillery range. Have they?
This is much more heavier artillery compared to those howitzers that
Yeah.
we saw.
So how long do you think? I mean, like 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, 40 kilometers. What would be like the artillery range for this?
Around 3 kilometers. I would
Okay.
say. Really long.
It fired shells more than twice the weight of a MOA. Oh my god.
This was sunk by minesweepers. Moa was the name of minesweeper which sunk the submarine.
Okay.
They used to shoot down aircraft.
Shoot down aircrafts.
Yeah. So they would be like.
But this looks like such a short range.
No.
How do you shoot aircrafts with this?
So this is a machine gun.
Oh, machine gun.
Yeah. This is a form of machine gun.
So you can't shoot rockets or missiles with this.
No,
Yeah.
it's just machine gun.
What's the name?
I think it should be written there somewhere. But it was there like this. This was used for targeting the aircraft.
Yeah, I can see that targeting. Yeah.
Then it was used for shooting down the aircraft.
Yeah. And this must be for viewing. Like
Yeah,
keep
it
your
is-
eye over
this-
here.
this- yeah.
This is for viewing.
It is not very easy. As you can see, this is very narrow, and when you are shooting this thing,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
already have like enemy aircraft from that side. They're shooting you
It's
back.
pretty heavy. Yeah, exactly.
So this is a cannon that was used against aircraft.
So where would they fit the cannonballs?
So it's called a cannon, but it's basically it's slightly bigger than a machine gun. It has the same rate of fire. It has like slightly bigger bore than a machine gun. Slightly higher rate of fire.
So in earlier days when you didn't have radars or electric
No,
compasses.
This is the radar.
This is the like primitive version of radar. Nowadays you have all electronic, right?
Nowadays also we have radar.
We have radar, but it's electronic. You have all the data like blipping on your screen and everything. But those days they used to use it like a compass, do all the calculations and stuff. There's a difference, right? It's like the difference between analog and digital.
Nowadays we have radar which is automatically guiding the guns. Back then you had to like calculate
You have to
from
calculate.
the radar readings where you have to position the gun.
Yeah,
So nowadays the radar directly feeds that information to the gun and the gun is automatically moved.
yeah. That's what.
The ship with Captain Cook. So this was the ship when Captain Cook used when he was traveling around the coast.
Captain Cook, as in Thomas Cook, the guy who discovered Australia and came to New Zealand.
Yeah. This was his ship
Okay.
in 1770.
What was he actually? Like, was he an army officer or what? I mean, people talk of him
he
as a
was-
discoverer, but I
he
feel he was an army man.
He was I think an army. Yeah, he was an army.
Yeah, because I've seen him fighting
Yeah, he
wars
was a
with the
naval
Maoris.
officer.
Yeah,
He was a naval officer.
yeah. He's the main guy who discovered Australia and New Zealand, this part.
Yeah, he discovered it.
And the word kangaroo was also named by him.
Yeah.
You know about that incident, right?
Yeah.
He went to a tribe and asked, what do you call this animal? So in their aboriginal language they said kangaroo, which means I don't know. And so he named it kangaroo. So the Cook Strait is also by his name.
Yeah.
Then you have Mount Cook.
Cook Islands.
Mount Cook, which is the tallest mountain of New Zealand, that's also named after him.